And I want to go back to, and I want to talk about two incidents that you might be familiar with. First is the tunnel closure in 2006 in Baltimore. Everybody, that was unfortunately my decision to make at 3 o'clock in the morning to close that tunnel. But based on the information I was getting from the FBI in the previous 24 hours, I thought it was important that I make that decision. That's a local decision. FBI gives me the resources and well, not the resources. They give me the information and then say, well, Chief, it's up to you. Okay, well, it's up to me if I'm going to be doing interviews on CNN and every national press organization for the next 24 hours because I made a decision to close a tunnel on Interstate 95, disrupting traffic up and down the East Coast for 3 hours because of a threat to our tunnel. That information came to us because of an illegal immigrant that was in custody who was picked up strictly because of that status and supplied that information to the FBI that caused us to do what we did that day based on an overabundance of caution that there was an immediate threat to our tunnel. Now, that information down the road was not supported. There was no criminal investigation. We end up arresting a lot of people, but we would never have gotten that information and that threat assessment if not for that individual being picked up solely on an immigration violation, and that's why they were in custody. The other incident I want to talk about is the Madrid bombing, and everybody remembers when the trains were bombed in Madrid. TSA came out within 24 hours, 18 regulations that everyone that was responsible for commuter rail had to abide by. Turns out Maryland had no one responsible for commuter rail, for law enforcement. We left it up to each jurisdiction the rail line came through. So you can imagine starting in Perryville, Maryland, in Cecil County, and coming all the way through to D.C., how many jurisdictions had pieces of the rail line that they were supposedly responsible for. So that was left to me. That was given to my agency, and we had 24 hours to enact these regulations. What did I have to go by? The assessment was there's a threat to East Coast commuter rail system following the Madrid bombing. That's the intel we're getting. You now need to go protect that. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Islamic terrorists. That's the role that I have at 8 o'clock in the morning because that's who committed the Madrid bombing. We know what they look like. We know what every foreign terrorist, every foreign Islamic terrorist looks like. They're young Islamic males. Look at the 9/11 hijackers. Look at those who committed the bombings in London and in Madrid. That's who they are. So now I have to communicate to my officers who we need to stop and who we need to look at and who we need to be suspicious of until we get a better assessment of this threat. Until the federal government comes to us and tells us who. Now, we start making those stops. I'm now stopping people at BWI Rail Station, which is a major Amtrak and commuter station going into Washington here. Okay, I'm now stopping Islamic males. Unbeknownst to me, and I'm drawing a blank on this, on the Intel Center that's based at BWI Airport, the Grumman, Northrop Grumman, has a training session going on where they have intel people from the government in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and they're staying in hotels in Baltimore and D.C. area and taking commuter rail into BWI Airport Rail Station. Just my luck. So we're stopping them. I have no way of verifying. Some of them are under programs that I don't have access to. And I'll make up a name. Blue Thunder. Who are you here with? I'm here with Project Blue Thunder at Northrop Grumman. Here's my ID. I have no way of verifying it. None. We stopped 30 people that morning. The first morning after the Madrid bombing. We couldn't verify who any of them were. I called State Department. We can't talk to you about Blue Thunder. So I have a top secret clearance. We can't talk to you about Blue Thunder. Let them go. I said, you want their names? No, let them go. Locals need that access, and we need it immediately. And literally, with the capabilities we have now, we have the capabilities to have it in the palm of our hand, 24/7. And I think that's the importance of having locals and state cooperate and work closely with ICE and other federal agencies to share that information.
Thank you. Gary?